and I have decided to collaborate our years of experience and start to run regular clinics for horse and rider.
So my focus is going to be looking at the rider and helping you as riders to understand your posture, looking to find neutral spine, balance, and how your posture is going to affect how your horse is moving and how your horse is working. Hopefully having followed on from the groundwork that you're going to be doing with Sarah.
Which is exactly the same. You know, we often think about either the horse and lots of physio for the horse and stuff like that, and we then sort of don't consider the rider, or we consider the rider and don't consider the horse. So we're considering both parts of this, and it's very important to actually understand your horse's natural asymmetry, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Because you could both be right-sided or left-sided, or, you know, so it's really going to be quite, I think, interesting for people.
Yeah, and definitely understanding your own asymmetry, and certainly something I found with working on doing Pilates with people is getting people to be more body aware of how it feels in their own body, sometimes whether you feel stiffer to the left or to the right, and how that might be having an effect on your horse, but then also understanding how your horse might be feeling in his body when he feels stiffer, and how they move, etc.
I mean, horses being lunged, falling out on the circle and falling in on the circle, and we think they're just being difficult, but actually imagine, you know, if you're not equal, that's very difficult, but none of us are ever going to be completely equal, are we? So it's
all individual,
yeah.
So the groundwork's going to be with myself, and we are going to work on the horse's posture, and what we can do is work out the horse's natural asymmetry, and with that I can then give you some exercises that you can take away from this course and that will help you improve that. So as we all know, we have a left and right rein that the horse prefers, and we say, oh, that feels so much nicer when we ride that way, but actually also ourselves we're going to have one rein that we find easier to ride and one rein that we find more difficult. So we have to kind of work out how we can better help our horses. So with Amelia, she can help us with our position, and then with myself I can help you with your horse's posture and position, and then hopefully with those two things in place you should have a very happy and successful partnership.
When we're looking at the rider, one of the first things I'm going to focus on is helping you as the rider to understand neutral spine and how to find that. So when we look at Sam's natural posture, she tends to stand a little bit on the hollow side, which means she's also a little bit tighter through her hip flexors in the front here, and therefore not really using the back of the thigh particularly. So we're going to start off by getting you to place one hand on the front of your pelvis, one hand on the back, and I want you to just literally tilt your pelvis forward and backwards. So what we're hoping to do is to get Sam to start to feel that there's hollow, there's neutral. Yeah, how's that feel? Yeah. Good. So then looking at Sam, we had the same sort of thoughts as what we were looking at when we had her on the floor and doing the Pilates exercises. So here we can see that her naturally hollow back has her sitting on him a little bit hollow, and also the lower leg is a little bit braced forward. So we're looking to find ear, shoulder, hip, heel line. So we're going to start off by getting you to take the feet out the stirrups. And if you're happy to just pop your legs up over the front of the saddle. Obviously if you feel that your horse is a bit spooky or unsure, then don't do that. We've got Sarah here just to check he's okay. So how do you feel in your seat bones? Do you feel level in your seat bones?
I kind of go over to the left a little bit.
Okay, so we just
consciously,
okay. You need to just stay a little bit into your left now. He's standing with his right hand out behind, that's better. That's fine, cool, okay. So the reason that I bring someone's legs up here, first of all, is it helps to put the pelvis into the right place, so that's hopefully helped you to feel your seat bones a little bit more clearly. Yeah. And also to then get the feeling like we did on the floor, now draw your tummy in a little bit, of just taking her back into more of a neutral spine, so she's got the natural curves of the back there. How's that feel? Yeah?
So with Sam and Bren, they actually mirror each other, don't they, with both having the hollow back. So it's all about trying to get Bren to lift his back and Sam to soften her back, isn't it? So a lot of the groundwork that we do when we obviously take the rider away is we're trying to engage the hind leg a little bit more. So we can do that by doing some, we can do it by doing some tummy lifts to get him to lift his back a bit more. We can get it by just doing the groundwork with some in-hand circles to really get the inside hind leg stepping more under, working on them individually. And for Bren, he has a left hind leg that's weaker, so he tends to push from his left hind leg straight into his right shoulder, which is a bit of a problem for you, isn't it? Because then he often escapes out through the right shoulder. So that's what we need to work on, is the balance for Sam to be sitting a little bit better, be a little bit stronger in her core to help Bren with his weakness in his back as well. Okay. So with Bren, we're going to use the cavesson because I find the cavesson, you can just refine the aids a little bit better with the cavesson. What I'd like to just discuss is through his back here, he's very weak and we need to encourage him to learn to lift and use his core a little bit more. When he does that, his hind leg's going to swing through and he's going to be able to lengthen his neck. So we're going to start with just some little exercises to help get him to lift his back. We're going to start with just getting him to walk around us on the circle